Okay, so we're going to do this really quickly here. This is our meant to be a review for the pre-test. So I'm doing a different worksheet. Your numbers will be different, but I'm going to show you how to do this stuff, and then obviously you're going to do yours. Okay. So for this first one, we're showing the volume of our blank here. This is our CO2 blank. The trick here to understanding this is what happens is the easiest way to do this is take this guy and add it to this guy. Okay. And then that ends up making just a wedge, right? That's 2 by 12 by 10, and I know that's not proportionate, that's right. And then you just would, the regular volume of a wedge, would you just multiply everything and divide by 2. So the formula for this is we're going to add the two heights together. So it's 4 plus 6. And we're going to put this in parentheses. You need to get this first. Sometimes people type this in and they do all the multiplication together, and without, they just type in all one string, 4 plus 6 times 2 times 12, and of course because of the order of operations, we're going to do the multiplication first and then add 4 on the end. So it goes 12 times 2 times 6 plus 4, and that's not going to give you the right answer. So be careful about that. So and we take everything and divide by 2. So then we get 10 times 2 times 12 divided by 2. And something I didn't learn and understand what was going on in math until later, we could cancel these two out and there would just be 10 times 12 would be 120. But if we do everything out, we go 120 times 2 is 240 divided by 2 is 120. Okay, moving right along. The formula for calculating density. Density equals mass divided by volume. Okay, so then the trick is to figure out which one of these is the volume. Which one, is, do we measure volume with grams or with milliliters? Okay, and which one is mass? We measure mass with grams or milliliters. Okay, so most of you probably remember from science that you're going to measure mass using grams. So the formula is simply 117 divided by 285. And I'm going to get out my calculator for a second here. 117 divided by 285 is, well, but we got to also watch out for rounding. Okay, so if we're rounding the zeros in the thousandths place, because the number next to it is 5 or greater, we have to make that, we have to add one here. So it's the answer is going to be 0.411. Density is mass divided by volume. So you just got to remember which one of these is mass. Okay, and then here. The little explanation about what's going on here, we've got this formula, density is mass divided by volume. So if we just take this relationship, it's the same relationship, we're just going to switch it around. If I need to solve for mass, what do I need to do to each side to make mass on one side of the equation by itself? Well, the answer is I have to multiply times volume. And you can't do to one side without doing to the other. So these cancel out, so now I have mass equals density times volume. And you can't do this one wrong, so it's a 0.402 times 190, 0.402 times 190 is 76. Okay, backside, we're doing averaging. Averaging is, you may remember this one. A lot of folks, when they get, take the pretest, they get this one right, and then maybe that's the only one they get right. But how we average this is we're going to add all of these up and then divide by the number of numbers we added up. So in this case, we'd be dividing by 4. And we're rounding nearest thousandths. This is 5 or greater, so the answer should be, so we added all these up, and the answer should be 1.313, and we divide by 4 equals, okay. speed equals distance over time. So in this case, the distance is 65 feet. The time is 1.325. 65 divided by 1.325 equals, that is 49.057 feet per second. It is not miles per hour because we got feet and seconds here, so it's feet per second. Whenever you see per, that means we divide it to get that answer. Okay, we got 38.296 feet per second. And the trick here is we're taking those feet per second, and we're going to convert seconds into hours by multiplying by 3600, because that's the number of seconds in an hour. And we're going to convert feet into mile by dividing by 5,280 feet in a mile. Okay, so it's just 38.296 times 3600 divided by 5,280 is 26. And now this one's the whole mile. We're doing a whole mile here, so it's just 26 miles per hour.